Hello, everybody. This is Jack from Fluency.com, and welcome to this live English lesson with me, Jack from Fluency.com. I'm going to answer your questions about learning English, and I also told people that they can ask me anything within reason. But this is a chance for you to ask questions that you've been wanting to ask me. So I'm going to show you a couple of things first. Firstly, we have this new feature where over here, you'll be able to see the chat. So I'll be able to see this, you'll be able to see this, and anybody watching the replay will be able to see this too. And I've also got a couple of other things to share. I'm just going to say hi to those joining live. For example, thumbs up. Saul is here from Sevilla in Spain. Hamu is here. Ion, hey, amazing guy. Thank you very much. A bunch of people are now joining. And you're going to notice something up here throughout this lesson. So this is a chance for you to ask me any questions about learning English. But first, I'm going to just explain a couple of things. If you are new here, then be sure to subscribe. You can subscribe to this channel very easily. You know what to do. If you're on YouTube, you should know what to do by now. Just click that subscribe button, but also click that notification bell. People who are here live over here have notifications turned on. So they get an email or a notification on their YouTube app when I give live English lessons. Okay. The other thing I want to explain is if you do not have this yet, go get it now to fluency.com/book. It's a free book. It's my gift to you that helps you learn English. It's going to help you learn English. It's called The 5-Step Plan for English Fluency. How to finally become an advanced English speaker. There are 5 chapters. Each one is really important. So go check that out. I can see the chat is going quite crazy. Somebody says it's been a long time. It has been a long time. It's a great phrase to know. It's been a long time. And I have many videos on the present perfect tense. It's been a long time since I last saw you. It's been a long time since I released a video. Well, a week. It's been a week. And I want to actually start by giving you an update on some of my goals. So my number one goal this year is to be as healthy as possible because I was sick for 7 weeks over the Christmas period and I don't want to feel like that again. So I've decided to be as healthy as possible. That's going well. I'm doing lots of yoga. I'm going to go to yoga tonight. I wanted to update you on my goal. How are your goals doing? Please let me know. Hamu has a question. What does hustle mean? I hear it a lot in business context. Yes, to hustle means to work hard. To work hard. To hustle is something that you'll hear on lots of business channels. People like Gary Vaynerchuk. Hello, if you are watching Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary Vaynerchuk always talks about hustle. And he has a video which I watched yesterday, again, the most important word. And he talks about hustling and why it's so important, why hard work is so important. And it's mainly used in business. But yeah, you can think about this in terms of learning English too. To hustle, to work hard. That's what's going to help you improve. How to improve vocabulary. So I like to do this through the sentence method. And I'm going to refer to this, this link a lot during this lesson. And I do believe the video is in the description too. But I have a method which helps you learn vocabulary, but it also helps you internalize grammar and also improve your speaking at the same time. And it's a method that is so powerful And I want lots of people to do this. Hi, teacher. What is the difference between though and thoroughly? Thoroughly, sorry. Yeah, so though is, I'll just give you an example. I love working, though it's sometimes hard. It's sometimes hard, though, which is introducing a contradictory sentence or phrase or clause. To do something thoroughly means that you do it in detail. So to clean the room, you can do this in detail. You can clean the room thoroughly, which means that you do everything you need to do. So that's a good difference. Tatiana, hello Jack, I'm going to search for local yoga classes too. It's an amazing tool for improving health. I agree. I think yoga is a great exercise to do, or a great thing to do. Lots of health benefits as well. Hi, nice to see you live. Is there a difference between I have to see my friends and I am to meet my friend? So I have to see my friend. This explains some type of obligation. So I can say, I have to meet my friend tonight because we're going to talk about business, because we have a meeting. So there's some type of obligation to do that. Whereas you can just say, I'm meeting my friend tonight, which just says that there is an arrangement, which is different. How to use figure out in a sentence. Yeah. Let's try and figure this out. We have a problem. Let's try and figure this out. Let's try and solve it. That's what it means. I can't figure out what this means. I can't figure out what this word means in Spanish. I can't figure it out. I can't solve this problem. It's a great phrasal verb to use. Where can I find a native conversation partner? I'll ask this question to everyone else because I know there are lots of apps there available where you can speak in English with native speakers, and you can do this in a way that is where you're speaking half the time in your own language and half the time in English, and it's a really good thing to do. Teacher, here is my question. Is it right to say you would have write it or you would have written it? Written. Written is the one you're looking for. Like this. Written. What's the meaning of prevalent? It means that it's everywhere. That it is everywhere. Okay? That's what it means. Now, I will say at this stage, the chat is going very quickly. So I'm not going to see every question. But if you want to ensure that your question gets answered, then what you can do is use a super chat. So you can see down in that bottom corner, this is weird. Down in that bottom corner, there's a $sign. And you can send $2, $5, $10, and that ensures that I see your question. But it's also a way to support the channel too. The latest video with your wife was interesting. Yeah, we were a little bit worried that it wasn't going to be that useful. But I watched it again and it was great. But when we recorded the conversation, we thought, is that any good? Is that a good conversation? And the reason is we hadn't talked to each other in that kind of way for weeks because we just hadn't had the time to do it. It was a crazy few weeks with traveling and sickness and looking after children. So that was the first time we really had a good conversation together for a while. How can I keep my motivation for learning English? What a good question. Yeah, and this is an important question too, because when you have a goal, a big goal, you get excited about the changes that you're going to make. So in my case, I get excited about being in the best shape of my life. That was my goal last year. I was excited about being in the best shape of my life. But then you realize that you have to do the work. You have to do the work. You have to work hard. You have to be consistent. And when you have a big goal, you have to make sure that you take that motivation and create a daily learning routine. And in a way, it's not necessary to be motivated every day. But as long as you do it, that's all you need to do. I don't have a huge motivation or feeling of motivation right now to be in the best shape of my life, to be healthy. But it's now a habit because I took that motivation, that strong feeling, and I created habits out of it. Every time, my wife calls me every time. She knows I'm live. I'm just going to say, remind me when I leave. That is so funny. Okay. Let's have a look. What is the difference between teaching at school and freelancing, and which do you prefer? Well, the difference if you teach in a language school, then you have to follow the rules of the language school. When you freelance online, then you can teach anyone in the world in the way that you think is best, and you create your own schedule. The problem with this is that you have to find students to pay you. But once you get that, it makes an amazing situation, and I love it. Okay. My wife just texted me. I'm going to say, I'm live. Hello, Jack. Is there any difference between run into and come across? Yes, I think so. So run into is used for people and come across is used for things or articles, especially content. So I ran into my friend at the supermarket. You'll never guess who I ran into last night. But then this morning I came across this video. I came across this article which was really useful. Really useful. I just sent a text to my wife saying, I'm live. And Kate said, I'm alive. That's a good difference, okay? So I'm live means that I am giving a live video. But I'm alive means I'm not dead. Keep missing that comma, apostrophe. She does it on purpose. I think she does too, Orlan. I think she does it too. I think she does it on purpose. I am fumbling while I'm speaking to others in English. What should I do? Well, my method will help you because this will help you be able to produce phrases, commonly used phrases, without thinking about rules or translating. Check out the description for my method. But also, it depends on how much practice you get. I mean, how many times per week do you speak in English? How much practice do you get? That's something to think about too. And it might have to be, it might just because you don't have the vocabulary, maybe because you don't understand, or you don't have the grammar knowledge to speak properly. So there are many things here. One day we will all die. Gaming. That is very true. That is very true. Okay. Hi teacher, I want conversation lessons. I am from Kurdistan. Online. Go online. You'll find someone to do it. You'll find someone who wants to learn the language that you know. Or you can pay a teacher online. Or you can make friends. The key is this, and I've talked about it before. You have to overcome the obstacle. Overcome this, honestly. You have to overcome the problem of not having a speaking partner, of not having anyone to practice your speaking with. And maybe you need to spend 10 hours finding someone or 20 hours finding someone. Maybe your first speaking partner is terrible. Maybe your first teacher doesn't show up, but you just need to find this and overcome that problem. It's kind of like saying, for me, I want to get in the best shape of my life, but I don't know what exercises to use. I need to find the time or spend the time to research the best type of exercises. Any advice to clear IELTS? Yes. Okay. Firstly, work on your general English, my method. Then, get lots of past papers and read them and understand the exam. Practice the reading part and the listening part on your own, and then get feedback on your speaking and writing. So, work on your general English, know the exam, practice as much as possible, and get feedback on your speaking and writing. Those are my best tips for the IELTS exam. Some learners have a very high level of English, but when they go into the exam, they can't pass it. Others have incredible knowledge of the exam, but their general English isn't high enough. It just all depends. Okay, I'm going to let's have a look. Can you see this? Put user in timeout. Okay. For 300 seconds. There are too many messages. That's really cool. Be careful what you say in this chat. I'm just joking. Hi Jack, could you explain what just in case means? Please also give some examples in the sentences. Yeah, I'll give you an example first. So, it's very sunny today outside. But I can say to my wife, let's bring an umbrella just in case. Let's bring an umbrella just in case it rains. So the probability of this happening is small, but we are prepared for it if that happens. Let's bring an umbrella just in case. I'm going to back up my website 3 times just in case. Just in case something bad happens to the other 2 versions. So that's what it means when there's a small probability of something bad happening, so you take precautions for this. How can I make learning English an integral part of my daily life? Great question. Great question. Change the language of your devices into English. Watch English TV, listen to English music, read English shows, learn new things in English, research things in English. So let's say you want to buy a new camera, read reviews, watch videos of this camera in English as well. Think about it like this. Do what you're doing now, but do it in English, okay? Really good thing to do. Teacher, I've been watching some random YouTube videos to improve my listening skills and catch up some vocabulary. What do you think about this methodology? The more input you can get, the better. But also think about output too. So input is when you passively, you read something, you listen, you watch. You read, you listen, you watch. That is input. Output is when you speak and you write. So your message was an example of output. It's a really good thing to know. So make sure that you're also outputting, that you're speaking, that you're writing. My method will help you with this. Link in the description. Could you tell me advice about any program that helps me translating words and the meaning of them? Great question. I like word reference if your language is there. The key with translation is to think about it in terms of, is this a single word I'm translating, or a phrase, or an idiom? If it is a phrase, then know that you need to find the best translation for this. Sometimes there is no direct translation, but you can understand what it means. So know if it's a single word, a phrase, or an idiom, and then you can start translating it. A really good thing to do is to sorry, I'm just reading some comments. Another thing that you can do is to, let's see if I can't do this quickly. But what you can do is type it into Google and then just put your language and do the quotation marks. For example, there's an idiom. Why can't I think of an idiom? Somebody give me an idiom. Somebody give me an idiom. No. An overnight success. I'm trying to think of all the idioms I've done. Somebody give me an idiom and I'll answer that question. How to use being. Yeah. So a lot of people have asked me this over the years. How to use being. I can't do it. And the key is to know when to use gerunds in general, and the different types of ways that you can use gerunds. Okay. Walk a mile in her shoes. Thank you. I'll come back to that being in a second. So what you can do, walk a mile in someone's shoes, and then you can put, like, let's just say it's Spanish. And then you'll find a forum with the definition of this. Okay? Walk a mile in someone's shoes, Spanish, and then you'll find somebody who translate this for you. Kick the bucket. Quotation marks, Spanish. Practice makes perfect. Safety in numbers. Back to the drawing board up here. I can't. This is the other way around. Speak of the devil. Of course. Look at all these idioms. You guys are great. But going back, someone said being, when to use being. The key is to know when to use gerunds in general. And sometimes you can't always use a gerund. So, look it up. But also know that being, I'll give a direct answer now, that I can say he's normally shy, but he's being outgoing today. Okay, he's normally shy. He is normally shy, but he is being outgoing today. So when you talk about being and describing a person, it describes a temporary behavior, which isn't normal. I can say to my wife, you're being rude. You're being rude. You're being pushy. You're being rude. You're being pushy. I don't say that to my wife that often. What does crack on mean? It means to continue. Let's crack on. Let's continue. Let's say I'm giving a lesson and then I start talking about something else and I say, okay, let's crack on with the lesson. That's what you can say. Guys, by the way, if you are enjoying this lesson, please click that thumbs up button. We have, I can't see, 121 people watching live. So please click that like button. That will help the channel. I'm used to being rejected. Yeah. That's another way of using being. Exactly. I'm used to being rejected. So this is a verb pattern. I'm excited about being here. I'm excited about being here. I enjoy being here. So that's another way of using it, like a verb pattern. If I want to talk really, if I want to be polite, do I use slang words or not? This is such a good question. Generally speaking, avoid slang if you want to be polite. Woohoo! Look at that. Isn't that cool? So avoid slang if you want to be polite. And this, I made a video on this. I have 420 videos on this channel. I've made a lot of videos, but I remember making a video on slang. And I said that only use slang if you know in which situations to use it. Because a lot of people don't use it in the right way. And you can use slang to be funny, to be sarcastic, to be ironic, to be angry, to be cool, and it just all depends on the situation. All depends on the situation. Okay. Let's go back to this. And to say, if you are new here, then subscribe and click on the notification bell. Notification crew. My favorite type of people. And also, if you don't have the book yet, to fluency.com/book. It is a fantastic book. I wrote it. I think it is amazing. I'm saying that, but a lot of people tell me that it is really useful. And I think it is, because it shows you how you can change your life to improve your English and exactly what you need to do to improve. It doesn't teach you 5 phrases that you need to know. Instead, it shows you how you can improve your English. My mobile phone is going crazy. Oh, my phone is blowing up. My social media is blowing up. You'll hear people say that when they get lots of notifications or when lots of people like a photo, like a video. So if you post a video on Facebook and it gets 10,000 views, you can say, my video is blowing up. My social media is blowing up, etc. It's a really cool word to know. Alexandra Nowak just subscribed. Thank you for being here. It's good to have you. Claudia is here. Okay, everybody, I'm just going to take a 1-minute break to have some water. Look at that. It's a setting on my camera. When something is too bright, it does that. I need to take that off. Okay, I'm going to just take a 1-minute break and I'll be back. I'll be back then. So think about some questions you want to ask me. Okay? Okay, we are back. How was that music? Was it too loud? Was it good music? Let me know. Could you please bring me a coffee? Could you bring me a coffee, please? Where are you? Where are you? Let me know. There are many people jealous of the British accent. The British is better. Thumbs up. Yeah, it's an interesting thing when you, as a British person, and you're in America, because a lot of Americans really like the British accent, but then a lot of Brits are very cocky about it, which means like they are too confident, and sometimes they say things like, we invented the language, you Americans don't know how to speak English, you Americans don't know how to speak it. Arrogant a little bit, I think. Amazing music. Yes, the music is good. Good. I'm glad you like the music. Suggest another way to say I'm fine. I'm actually going to make a video soon, and I'll just show you a couple of things. I've been preparing this video for a couple of days, and it's what British people say and what they mean. And one of them is, it'll be fine. It will be fine. And this actually means you're in a terrible situation, and I don't know if you'll be fine. And I'm excited about making that video. But another way to say I'm fine is, I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Not bad. How you doing? Not bad. A lot of people say, not bad, not bad, not bad. Good night from Turkey. If you say good night, it means you're going to bed. So you can also say hello from Turkey or good evening from Turkey, even if it's really late. If you say good night, it means that you are going to bed now. That's what that means. Okay, here we go. Selma, thank you for your tip about output as well. What I've been doing is I've taken some time to record myself, 30 minutes. I truly want to get your method, just need to get my finances together. Use my free version of the method too. So there's a paid version and a free version. Now the free version is something that you can do on your own. So check it out. Oh, Alex Smith. Oof. I'm going to ban. I have to just ban people. You know, that's the second time somebody has said that to me today, which is crazy. Hide user on this channel. Fantastic. Okay. Could you recommend any articles with exercises, FX, with vocabulary? I just recommend following YouTubers who talk about fitness and just watch it, because that's all about context. My favorite, some people hate him, but I find him very funny and very useful, is Kino Body. So check out Kino Body. How to express sadness by using an idiom. I'm feeling down. That's a really good one. I'm feeling down today, for example. I'm feeling down today. That's a good one to use. What is the best way to learn VPs? What do you mean VPs? Verb patterns? Is that what you mean? So many people are using past verb with did. I didn't know. Oh, no, I didn't know. You'll find a lot of people using the past verb with the present perfect. For example, you'll see he has went there. And a lot of native speakers do this as well. So it's something to think about. Do you watch Gary V? Yes, I like Gary Vaynerchuk. I'm feeling blue. Feeling down means depressed. Feeling blue, yeah. And it doesn't necessarily mean depressed, like a medical term, but it can just mean feeling sad, feeling down. You're not happy. You feel bad. I've listened to many native speakers who say in affirmative, I do play. I do. Yeah, and this is when you want to emphasize it. You don't love me. I do love you. I do love you. When you really want to emphasize it. So you'll hear people use that. Do you have a complete course from B1 to C1? Yeah, I do. And there it is. So fluency.com/TFP. Have you heard any Brazilian speaking in English in the US? Is it easy to realize that they are Brazilian? Well, I used to have a lot of Brazilian one-to-one students, and they had a very specific accent. So yeah, you can tell certain people are from Brazil, definitely. Some people say thanks a ton, but what does the word mean, ton? Well, in this case, it means thanks a lot. But a ton is a measure of weight. I think it's about 1,000 kilograms. Yenia, I want to know if your method is with British or American. It's British. It's all British. I do love this channel a lot. Very cool. I missed your first question, Fernando. Oh, I'm asking just because I think it's hard for us to produce some sounds in English, and sometimes we also add a Y. Yeah, one student said like office instead of office or something like that. Jack, do you miss England? Yeah, a little bit, but I love it here. What's the meaning of make sure? To be certain? Is that Alexis Sanchez a traitor? No, not really. I like your wife's accent when you make a video with her, but could you tell her to speak a little bit slowly? I did. So the video where we talked about GIFs, I watched it and I said, Kate, you speak far too quickly in this video. For some people it was useful, but she spoke so quickly because she was excited and she had a lot of coffee. So in the next video, which is the one about, what was the latest one? My mind's gone blank. It's a great idiom. My mind's gone blank. I can't think of it. Living abroad, she slowed down a lot. Are you able to watch the Preston match from where you are? By the way, what is it better to say, game or match? The Preston. Are you able to watch Preston play? Are you able to watch Preston from where you are? So Preston is the team I support, and yes, I can. They introduced a new service where you can buy a season ticket to watch every game online if you live abroad, if you don't live in the UK. So because I live in America, I can stream every match online. It's amazing. Grammar books, I recommend using my method instead of grammar books. But if you're going to use one grammar book, search for Raymond Murphy, and also use lots of examples. So focus on the examples. Do you sometimes use an American accent? Not that often. Where do you come from? What part of the country in the UK? Preston. Do you have a video about Valentine's Day? I do. Go into my channel and search for Love Conversation. It's one of our first conversations where we talked about love and Valentine's Day. Which level are you talking to us? Good question. It's difficult to answer because this is my presentation style. And if you watch other people like giving TED Talks, that's their presentation style. And a lot of people present things much more slowly than I do. So my battery on my camera is running out. And when it runs out, there's something I can do. I've got a little trick that will help. What level am I? I can understand every word that you say. Look for level test on my channel. You'll be able to evaluate your own level of English. In which case can I use ought to? It's like when it's some external obligation. I ought to do this. This is something I need to do. It will be good for me if I do it. I'm from Colombia. Good to see you. What's your favourite TV show? Well, I haven't watched any TV since Game of Thrones. It's terrible. I don't have time to watch TV. But in terms of TV series, I recommend... it's hard to say. And it depends if you like British or American English. Check out Friends. Friends is a good one. That's an old series, but it's great. Yeah, keep watching them. Find things. See if you like it and see if it's not too difficult for you. Have you planned to create an app? If not, could you recommend us one to improve our fluency? Well, I have a course that uses an app that I recommend. And the app, if you just want to use the app, it's called Anki. But what my course does is it shows you the method and it gives you the materials to use this app. Best actor and best actress. Whew. The first person that comes into my mind is Tom Hanks. And then for actress, Kate Beckinsale, for obvious reasons. Do you recommend watching movies with subtitles or not? Do try it, both. If it's too difficult, turn on the subtitles. So Tom is asking about rules when the S becomes a Z sound. And know that English isn't phonetic. So there are no rules when it comes to what things sound like. There are some similarities and you can obviously learn how to do it, like cat and bat and sat. They're all very similar. But it's very difficult to think about rules when it comes to how things sound. That's why I recommend lots of audio with English, because it will help you. If you don't mind, I would like to ask about mixed conditionals. Yeah, so mixed conditionals are used when you link a hypothetical situation in the past to the present or the future or something like that. For example, if I had invested in Bitcoin in 2011, I would have $2 million now. Okay, if I had invested in Bitcoin in 2011, I would have $2 million now. It's kind of cool, isn't it? An unreal situation. I didn't invest in Bitcoin. Very close. I didn't invest in Bitcoin. If you want to know what we're talking about, it's this, Bitcoin. But if I had invested in Bitcoin, it would be worth over $2 million now. I love you, Jack. I'm from the Ukraine. Good to see you. Do you watch science fiction TV series? There are plenty of fantasy these days. Which films recommend to intermediate students of English? I recommend films that you've already seen in your native language. Or if you've read the book and then watched the film, then do that too. But I can't think of a specific film that's really, beneficial in that sense. Movies are hard to understand. I talk about this a lot. Movies are difficult to understand. Oh, there goes watch this. Boom. So I'm now using my webcam up here. Isn't that cool? Because my camera died. I'll show you my camera. Here it is. This is a Lumix. It's my little camera. Idante87 has just subscribed. Welcome to you. Could you give us meanings of the word reckon with some sentences? Yeah. It's like saying, I think. I reckon we should leave. I reckon we should go. I reckon it's going to rain later. Do you reckon? Do you reckon? It's very British and Australian as well. I've seen a learning video where they said that I ought to is more likely to say I should. Now, I think should's more common. I should do it. Someone asked about the difference between start and begin. I can't think. Let's begin the class. I began teaching English. I can't think of a key difference. Okay, well, I'm going to actually just end it here because I don't like low quality video. So I'm going to end it here. And what I am going to say is thank you so much for being here. I'm going to record some more videos tomorrow for next week. Please like this page, share it, check out the description for more resources. I have a list of frequently asked questions that people ask me a lot, and I answer those there. And there's a link to my method and my course too. So with all that in mind, again, so good to have you here. I'll speak to you all soon. Bye for now.